Hi there, welcome to Flowing in Dreams. This is my top 10 favorite luxury makeup eye products. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be all about my favorite eye products by luxury makeup brands. This is going to be our finale to Luxury Makeup Week because I just thought it was a good idea in preparation for the upcoming sale season when loads of makeup brands, of course, will be having deals. But I think that if they're, like, for me, it's very often luxury makeup brands that I shop from in the Black Friday sales because they just very often don't even have sales throughout the year. And this way you have a bit of an idea what brands to perhaps look out for. I don't know anything yet about upcoming deals or not, but these are just some of my favorite products by luxurious makeup brands that I thought I could share with you. And as I have been doing all week already, these brands are luxury in my brain because not only are they usually higher priced, but they also have a certain experience when it comes to either purchasing or using the makeup. And that's how I definitely feel about all of these products here. So I have a couple of palettes here because we are talking about eye makeup, of course. And then I do have some loose bits here as well. I don't have anything like mascara because I tend to stick to drugstore. I just do. I don't have any sort of mascara favorites. I just realized that since you can only use a mascara for about 3 months anyways before they become not safe to use on the eyes, I would not recommend spending loads of money on mascara. You can find really good things at a much cheaper price point. So in case you were wondering, what would be your favorite luxury mascara? I haven't tried one in like a decade, so please don't ask. Let's talk about the loose bits first before we get to the actual palettes. We all know I love myself some Victoria Beckham eyeliners. Yes, I love the Kiko ones. Those will also work, but the best ones for me are the Victoria Beckham. Like if you truly want to go bougie, and these come in so many shades. I just picked 2 random ones. I picked up, I always do the wrong side. What's this? I love Cocoa. This is a really nice dark brown that is more matte. But there's also these sequin shades. This I believe is called Smoky Quartz? No, Sequin Green. I have a couple of these as well. So this is one of the shiny ones. These are really soft though. They can break off quite easily. These are beautiful. I sometimes struggle because I have allergies with very watery, teary eyes. And these are like the only eyeliners that truly stay put on my waterline. I haven't found anything else really that works. And like I said, I've been buying these over time. Some of them were sent to me in PR. And this is one of those brands that I do keep an eye out for come Black Friday time. I don't really feel they've come out with too many new things that this year I also need to purchase from them. But very often if you wait a little bit or if you're already like signed up to their newsletter, they will do 20 or 25% off around Black Friday. And that's the only time in the year that Victoria Beckham Beauty does sales. Like there's no other sales the rest of the year. So just so you know. Another great thing from them, let's stick to Victoria Beckham then for a sec, are their single eyeshadows. These are, what are these things called again? The Lid Lusters, and this is in the shade Mink. This is the first one I ever tried, and this is the reason why they sent me some PR, because they must have seen my review for this product. I picked this up from the Victoria Beckham store in Dover Street in London. Which was very, very out of, I have never felt out of place in a store more than I did. But at the time, the brand wasn't sold anywhere else. And because this is so expensive, I first wanted to see the products in real life. I came away with one thing and tested that out. And then the brand saw my review and they were like, hey, would you like to try some more? And they sent me loads of things. And then I kept purchasing from them myself over time as well. This is a beautiful, really good, sort of like taupey brown shade. They've come out with so many other great shade. I have Mirror, I have like this really pretty gold shade. The Midnight Blue from this line is beautiful. And these are great if you want to sort of like do like the ultimate glammed up but super easy Christmas look. It's going to work every single time. Pairs really, really well with the eyeliners or with the eyeshadow palette I have from them as well. So this is really beautiful, but you can also use these by themselves. These are one and dones. I do feel that some of the shades are a little bit deep to be true one and dones, but you can manipulate these using fingers or brushes and like using different techniques to sheer them out more or only apply a light layer or intensify them. But this can very easily be turned into a smoky eye if that's what you're looking for as well. So very versatile little shadow and definitely worth the money to me. And then I think, yeah, let me do Trinny London next. I wasn't really sure if Trinny London is luxury makeup in a lot of people's brains, but they are mainly sold at department stores that also sell things like Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham I saw in Selfridges last year when I was in London, so I know they are sold there now as well. But yeah, Trinny London is, for instance, at Liberty's in London as well. So I have a little stack of eyeshadows. The one at the top I use the most. This is now one of my favorite one and dones. This is the Trinny London Eye to Eye in the shade Mystery. And these are super easy. I love that they snap shut, so you know they're closed. I also love Magician. This is a little bit cooler toned, a little smokier. You can tell I've used that one a lot as well. But Mystery is the one I travel with the most. Like, it just goes with everything, and it's never too much. It's never too in your face. I have one of the smoky shades as well. This is Chalice, which is a bit more, well, it's not even a matte. It is satin. Like, nothing here is going to be super crazy. And then I did buy one of the metallic ones. This is some, like, Greek goddess name, and this is a bit more metallic. This one I don't use a lot because it's not that easy to use. I have plenty of shimmering, like, super impactful shades, so it's the satins where this brand is at for me. And these three together make a really beautiful look, but like I said, my favorite way of using it is a one and done. If I'm in a pinch, if I'm running out of time to do an eye look before I go to work, I just reach for that top shade, use my fingers and a fluffy brush, and I'm out the door in seconds. So that's why I love this little stack, and I travel with them a lot too, because this is so much easier to pack than an entire palette. And it's also a little bit more bulletproof because these are creams and they're not powders. They won't break as easily as well in your bag. So that's another reason why I like these. Finally, in the loose bits, everything else is going to be palettes of some sort. I have my little Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadows. I believe the set has already sold out, but you can still buy them as separates. But her new holiday kits, she did this entirely cool toned eyeshadow, liquid eyeshadow kit. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so, so beautiful. I have, what are they called again? Emily and Anais, I believe they're called. This one is Emily, the taupey one, and the green one is Anais. These are really beautiful, but I do think the drugstore does it just as well. You don't need to spend this much money on liquid eyeshadow if you don't want to. But I do feel that a lot of the options I have from other brands either have already been discontinued or they're very hard to find. So that's why the Lisa Eldridge ones are still available. They're really good. Again, super easy to use. You can use these with brushes. You can use them with fingers. You can just use them from the applicator and dab them around. They settle themselves, so you don't even need to use an eyeshadow primer with this if you don't want to. If you're in a pinch, these are really, really good. But again, not necessarily a product I feel you really need to splurge on, just so you know. And when it comes to eyeshadow, like eyeshadow palettes, which is the category we're moving on to next, some of these I also feel you don't need to splurge on, but they are beautiful. However, others in this list are some of my all-time favorite like eyeshadow formulas. So I do feel that investing in eyeshadow when it comes to like a palette that is a little bit pricier is going to give you textures that are so easy to play with, mattes that are the easiest to blend, and you're still able to do some creative looks with it. So not all of these fall into that category for me, but most of them do. So let me start with the things that don't fall into that category, but that I still think are beautiful and that I still rate really highly. Another Lisa Eldridge product. This is the eyeshadow palette in Vega. The Lisa Eldridge products in terms of eyeshadow palettes aren't all created equal. I've also tried one in a shade that's now discontinued that I didn't love. But Vega, I love. It's cool toned, it's got taupes, it's got really beautiful shimmer shades, it's got a pop of like a dusty blue, which is really beautiful across like the lower lash line or as liner or whatever it is you want to do. And then you have this murky black. It's not the blackest black of your life, which I know some people will not enjoy, but for me, that's just perfect. I don't need something that's super black because it's too harsh against my skin, and it just goes really well together. I just really enjoy this product. I do have 3 of these in my collection, and that shows you how much I like these. But I do think that some of the other brands that are still coming up, I like a touch better. And similarly, the Victoria Beckham Smoky Eye Brick in Tuxedo. It looked like these have now been reformulated and they're renamed. Like, I'm not sure if they still do this. Mine was sent in PR, so I don't even know how much this costs, to be quite fair. But in Tuxedo, you do get this really beautiful matte sort of quad. I like to pair this with Mink and some of the eyeliners I showed you to really round out the look. What I dislike about this is that this is one pan. If this breaks, you're toast, because there is no division between these colors. But again, the packaging with the Lisa Eldridge as well, like this vintage cigarette case sort of style. Come on. That's what, and the weight of this thing as well, like that's why I would never travel with this, because A, it's fragile, 2, it's super heavy, so it's going to rattle around any sort of makeup bag, but she's so beautiful. Oh, and excellent quality as well. Like, those are some of the best mattes of my life. They're really good formula, but pricey for what you get. Because I think actually the palettes that are coming up are like roughly the price point of what these Lisa Eldridge and Victoria Beckham things are going for, just so you know. But then you get an entire palette, so that would have my preference. And this next brand, I'm like, are they luxury? I wouldn't necessarily call them luxury per se, but because of the formula, they sort of fit into this category, and it's Viseart. I have a bunch of their palettes. This is just one of the latest ones that I've tried. This is the Serenus. And I just really, like, packaging-wise, it's not a lot. But formula-wise, if you're looking for the most, like, the easiest formula you've ever worked with in your lifetime, Viseart. Sure, they're not, like, the most metallic shades ever, but these are bulletproof, really easy-to-use makeup. The mattes blend themselves. The shimmers look beautiful, even if you have textured lids. This doesn't have fallout. It's easy to apply. It lasts all day. It doesn't crease. You just don't need to put in so much effort to create a beautiful look every single time. And one of the things I really appreciate about Viseart is that no matter what combination you make with the shades in the palette, it's always going to look right. Whatever, like, nothing here is going to clash. Everything goes together. And they always do such a good mix of a couple of warm tones, and then they have the cool tones, and they have the true neutrals, and especially in the later ones, they always have this like one really interesting shimmer. They do some really good things, and the best part is these are magnetic. You can take them apart if you have a couple of them. You can very easily build your own as well. So there's that. So Viseart for me, excellent, excellent. But we all know Natasha Denona is where it's at for me as well. This is one of my top favorite brands when it comes to eyeshadow formula as well. And I Need a Nude, I think, would be the one I gravitate towards the most of all of my Natasha Denona palettes. I made a very bold claim in my eyeshadow palette collection video last August, but if I had to, like, somehow lost all of my eyeshadow palettes, if I could keep only one eyeshadow palette in my life, this would be the one. This. Because it has everything. Yes, there's a little bit of warmth, but I feel like if we cover this up, you can see how cool toned this is. And what I love about this palette is that it's not really warm toned, it's not really cool toned, it's actually right smack in the middle neutral, and it's so hard to find something like this. This looks great on everyone, provided you have lighter skin, I would say. This is going to be too ashy for people with deep skin for sure. But for me, this is perfect. I get a dark brown, which is always, like, my biggest pet peeve is brands always sticking a black in. I don't need that many black eyeshadows. Give me a really good dark brown and I'm happy. Lovely shimmers. You can, like, layer them, use them as toppers. Some things are a little bit flaky. Some of them are a little bit more satin. I get the exact mattes that I need to set up a look. Inner corner highlight, it's all here. Perfection in a palette right there. And I do feel similarly about this, but it was discontinued. But this is really similar to the I Need a Nude. And the new version that has come out for this fall season is very similar to this. So I feel like if you want to get this vibe, and you do not mind there being a green shimmer in the palette, you can go for this. This is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. Color story wise, this is really similar to the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, but there's just something about the Ethereal Eyes formula for Makeup by Mario. It's the most innovative, easy to work with formula of your life. So this is another favorite of mine. In here, there are 5 shimmers and everything else is matte. In here, you do get something that's a little bit cooler toned. You get something that looks like it's going to be warm toned, but on me, they all pull a little reddish pink. So I can still get away with it quite easily. So undertone wise, it just works. But it's the shimmers in this palette that really, really blew my mind. Because the shimmers in this palette, how should I explain this? It's like the most, it's not only easy to work with, but these layer beautifully. Like you can get so many, like it looks like such a boring palette in the pan, but the way these shades layer together is going to give you endless options into oblivion. I mean, you can put these shimmers over the mattes. You can layer the shimmers on top of itself. You can layer the different shimmers together super easily too. And every single time is just going to look different. You can tell what my favorite shimmer is right here in the middle. That one I can just slap it all over the lid by itself and it's still a look. It's still a look. Just one shimmer can be the look if you want to with this palette. Like I said, there's just something about this. When I tested this out, I was like, yeah, this is a formula I've never tried before. And I've tested out over 1,000 eyeshadow palettes in my lifetime. So for me to come on here and be able to say, this is truly something different and new, you know it's good. And finally, in this top 10, where else would we be than with the lovely Pat McGrath Mothership palettes? Pat McGrath, of course, does limited edition collections that are a little bit cheaper than the Motherships. In my opinion, those aren't the best. I have heard, though, that now that Pat McGrath has moved on to a different brand, the formulas have gone with her, and Pat McGrath as a brand has had to like change things a little bit. So I'm not sure if the newer renditions of the Mothership Subliminal are still going to be the same, but I have one that I've had for a few years. It's still good to go. I still love mine. I show you this in many of my videos because it is one of my favorite all-time cool tone palettes. Like, no, wait, that's the wrong phrase. All-time favorite cool tone palettes. That's the phrase I was gonna say. It's got some beautiful mattes, some really beautiful satins. We get the 4 special shades, beautiful things in here. It's just something else. And I really hope that what I've heard about the brand isn't true, because I think that if this formula changes too much, that a lot of people aren't going to be willing to pay this much money. These are palettes that have also gotten quite expensive over time. I feel like when I bought mine, it was like 125 euros. Now they're like 140 for the exact same thing. Not sure if I still find that worth it. Not sure I would still buy a Pat McGrath Mothership formula palette for like that price point. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I still love mine. I love what I have. And if you want to splurge, I do think Pat McGrath has some lovely things. And yeah, I hope they don't change the formula, because then it would be a shame. Then it truly would be a shame. So there you have it. Those are all of the eyeshadow products that I would like to talk to you about when it comes to luxury makeup brands. Let me know in a comment down below what your favorites are. Maybe you have some too. Thanks so much for watching this video here today. I hope it was helpful, and that if you are shopping any sales in the upcoming season, that you know a little bit what to look for and you can sort of build a wish list. That's definitely what I would recommend, because with sales, it's so easy to get sucked into things and then overspend and get things we probably don't need. So yeah, there's that as well. So I'm just trying to be as helpful as I possibly can. So I hope you really enjoyed watching this video today. By the way, I don't think I said it in this video, but I have said it in other videos. I have reviews up for all of these things. So I'll make sure to have some links in the description box down below so you can easily find them. I'm not a huge fan of doing swatches in every single video because, to be quite fair, a finger swatch only gives you so much information, and these products, you need to see them on the lids in order to know what they can do. So I will have some links to be a little bit more helpful in the description box down below. And then I really hope you enjoyed watching this video today. Thumbs it up if you liked it, subscribe, and then hope to see you again really, really soon with a new video. Bye-bye.